A guilty verdict in the murder trial of a Duluth man charged in a deadly shooting. Yesterday, a jury convicted Brandon Williams Gillard of aiding and abetting second-degree murder about a week and a half after his trial started. The 25-year-old was involved in a fight in Duluth's Lincoln Park neighborhood in August. At some point, he got in a vehicle and, according to the St. Louis County Attorney's Office, fired the shots that killed 19-year-old Paris Allen. Another man was also injured. Williams Gillard's sentencing date has not been scheduled yet. Now, there's another suspect, 21-year-old Sanusi Bangora, who's also charged with aiding and abetting murder in connection to that shooting. Court documents indicate he also fired shots. Bangora's case is still playing out in court.